it turns out that the airplane in the seat, it tumbles, the seat tumbles like this as you're going out. And I tried to stop the tumbling. Well, if you're free fall and you just put your body straight like this, you'll stop tumbling. But in the seat, you can't do that. And so finally I decided, the heck with it, I kicked, you had to manually take the seatbelt off, and release it, and then kick the seat away, and then pull the ripcord, all manually. Nowadays, it's all automatic. You don't have to do anything. You can go out and be completely unconscious. Everything done automatic for you, everything. Anyway, as a result, it turned out that I was at 25,000 feet when I did all that. I found out a couple years later, going through some kind of training, that don't ever open your chute above 25,000 feet.
Because?
Well, I went out at 27, and if I'd opened the chute right away, I might have died. Lack of oxygen, for one thing.
How long did it take you to descend from?
And it takes quite a while. I was very nonchalant. When the chute opened and I was hanging in a parachute, I looked at my watch to see what time it was. I couldn't remember it. I kept looking at it. I could not focus and get that thing fixed in my mind. I have no idea.
You were probably hypoxic.
No, well, maybe, but I was also full of adrenaline or something. Mm-hmm. And I saw this when I was sitting in the cockpit, in the parachute. I saw the airplane hit because there was a big ball of flames, and I landed okay. A German Polizei, this was in Germany, the land Polizei came running up there in the car and picked me up and took me back down to where the thing had, where it was crashing. But when he did that, I asked him if he had a knife. In German, it's haben Sie ein Messer. That's the only German I know. And he had a knife, and I cut a jackknife, and I cut a chunk of the parachute for a souvenir, for a scarf. And it was the orange. I like the orange section. By the way, I used to wear that in Vietnam. I like to throw it out like Snoopy does. And kind of throw it out when I'm taxiing around, and this thing was waving like this. And my boss said, "Mike, that's not a good. You're not supposed to do that." I did it anyway. Until one day I was coming back in, turning into the parking place with the wings folded, and the loose scarf went like this and right over my eyes, and I couldn't see what I was doing. And I decided not to do that anymore after that.
How long was your scarf? How long was that scarf?
Well, it was, about this long.
I've seen
about 6 feet or so.
I've got some stock footage, and when we talk about this, I'm going to put this in there. But guys used to throw this huge scarf. It was like 6 or 8 feet long, and they hooked it to their D-ring.
Yeah.
The young guys, when they would get transitioned in, everybody's like, "You're going to get your scarf. You're going to get your scarf." And then they'd be going down through, and nobody told them to hook it to the D-ring, so they'd have it around their neck, and they'd throw it out in that prop wash, just like, and it was the big joke. So that was the rite of passage. But yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well, they back to the ejection, and I cut out a chunk of the scarf, and I drove over to where there was a hole in the ground. Nothing. All I could see was just a hole, a little smoke trailing up like this, and they had a rope around it, and they kept saying in German, "Munitions, something you mentioned, something you missed." I said, No, we had no munitions. We didn't carry any munitions. Usually, we had 50 caliber machine guns, and most of the time they weren't loaded at all. But sometimes they were loaded, and I didn't know that we were in this phase where they had loaded them again, because I walked out, I looked at the hole and went, "Pow!" A 50 caliber cooked off. I backed out of there real fast.
Wow.
Mr. Lucky, we call him Mr. Lucky.
Mr. Lucky.
Yeah.
Well, is there